How we all doing, y'all? It's your boy Germ. You are tuned into Kinetic Aesthetic. I want to say I appreciate everybody for clicking play on this. I hope that you are having a beautiful start to your Thursday, and I hope that the rest of your day is even better. Now, as you may or may not have known, Chris Johnson, former NFL superstar, CJ2K as he was formerly known, he was been in the news recently because he had a terrible diagnosis. He developed ALS, otherwise known as Lou Gehrig's disease. It's a crippling disease. It really just destroys and fucks up your body, as we're going to get into. And it's just been a really sad story. I've seen a lot of it. I've just seen a lot of reporting on it. So it's been getting attention. But I don't really think a lot of people have really started to break down, or at least I've seen a lot of content that have just been really explaining why so many people, especially football fans, have been having such strong reactions to it. What I'm going to do is we're going to watch some highlights of Chris Johnson so that y'all can understand about him. And then we're going to watch the Good Morning America segment, because for me, what has been so crazy about this story and about this situation is that this is someone who was what I would like to call a human cheat code. You know, you look at certain athletes who come into their sports. You look at somebody like a LeBron James, like a Steph Curry. It's a lot more noticeable in basketball. But in football, you look at somebody like a Michael Vick, like a Tyreek Hill. You look at these men who are just so ungodly talented, and they just have these abilities that just make them cheat codes. You look at somebody like Aaron Donald with his strength and with his inability. Like, there are people who are just ridiculous in terms of their athletic ability. And Chris Johnson was one of those people. I remember, like, growing up, I remember 2009, seeing him go as crazy as he did. And so for me to see him be reduced to the state that he's in, it's been insane. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a little bit of a look at some of his highlights so that y'all can sort of get a bit of an understanding as to just why he was so special. Because CJ2K was literally different. But let's look at this.
We are ready for football. It's Sunday afternoon, and we welcome you to the Chris Johnson Show.
Like, this shit is in slow motion, but you really can't even understand just how fast and ridiculous he was.
Young throws it over the middle. Johnson, 45, tries to get outside. He makes a move to the 40. He cuts back inside 35. He's got the first down to the 33. What a move by CJ. Young takes the snap. Delay handoff. Here comes CJ up the middle. He's got the 30, 40, midfield, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, inside.
And it don't even look like he's running hard. Like, he's not running hard. He just had such natural breakaway speed. I learned this as I was doing my research, but this is a man that had already been a standout in track and field, which makes so much sense. But it's really crazy just how agile and fast this dude was. So again, human cheat code. Like, them DBs is not slow. Ridiculous. And so you compare the man who you see in that clip right there, and the speed with which he's running, just the unstoppableness. And then you compare that, talking about a man who, I don't know, y'all, this fucked me up. Like, I just don't know how to really put it into words how crazy it is to see this man just reduced to that state. And at 39, you hear about these NFL players and these debilitating side effects of them playing the game that doesn't hit till they're like in their late 40s, early 50s. This man he still should have had time left to enjoy his life, to enjoy his kids, to watch them grow, to be able to play with them. And now, just like that, he is stuck in a wheelchair having to use his eyes to speak. And it's not even the worst part of what his diagnosis is.
Working out daily and running errands with his 4 children until ALS changed everything.
Let's go back to last year. When did you notice that something was off?
I first noticed weakness in my right hand. At first, it was little things like my grip didn't feel right, and I wasn't as strong as I've always been.
His wife, Brittany, thought it was something much simpler.
Brittany, what did you think it was at the time?
I thought because of football and, his career, that it had to be something with that, maybe a pinched nerve or something along those lines, but never ALS.
And what did doctors tell you initially about your condition?
We hoped it was something else, but after thorough testing, they finally came down with a diagnosis of ALS. They told us about a medication that might extend life by a few months. Then they told us to get our affairs in order. It was hard hearing that, but after a while.
Again, to go from a NFL career where you were a superstar, where you were an offensive player of the year, a dynamo, and then to just be at a point now where you having a doctor tell you not relatively that long, like in a shorter span that it took you to get to the NFL to grow into that player, you have a doctor telling you to get your affairs in order. Like, just prepare yourself. You don't have a full year to live. This is fucking crazy.
Watching Good Morning America and seeing Dr. Merritt with Eric Dane, we reached out to her. She was willing to think more creatively, offering experimental treatments that might help and advance research.
Dr. Merritt Sikovich is a neurologist and leading ALS researcher at Mass General Brigham Neuroscience Institute.
Chris has been on standard of care, which is about 3 different medications that slow down the illness, but he was also part of a clinical trial, a therapy that decreases inflammation, and I think that helped him a lot.
With no family history of ALS, doctors believe his is a case of sporadic ALS, the most common form of the disease, affecting about 90% of patients, occurring randomly in people with no known family history of ALS.
That's one of the reasons this disease can be so shocking. It can happen to someone who never expected it.
And for me, it's shocking. It's hard to process it for me because I know you, Chris, from just the incredible athlete that you are. How do you process it?
Honestly, I don't know if you ever fully process it. At first, you're in shock. Then you realize you have 2 choices. You can give up or you can fight. I chose to fight.
And Brittany, what was it like for you when you found out that Chris had ALS?
It's like he's trapped. It's like just seeing the way his face moved like that as he was like using the speech thing. It's like, that's something that's always been the biggest fear for me, is just imagine being trapped in your own body and you not even able to really control it. You can't really do anything. Thank God that they have the shit for the communication to where his eyes are able to be the one that triggered it, because if he didn't have that, there would be no way for him to really use any type of voice. That's fucking horrifying. That's scary.
All I could think about was our kids and how young they are. Just, you're in denial. You want it to be anything else. You want the doctors to be wrong. The life that we previously had is like now a thing of the past, but we're still hopeful. We're hopeful, that a breakthrough will happen and that, or, God, a miracle will happen,
And what kind of support has helped you the most through this?
Without a doubt, my wife, Brittany, she hasn't left my side through any of this. My kids are also a huge part of why I keep going. Every day I wake up wanting more time with them, to make more memories, and just be their dad. They give me a reason to keep fighting.
Love it.
I know, Brittany, the unsung heroes are the caregivers. So what has this been like for you?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough. Like, we have good days, we have bad days, you know. Our life has shifted so much and it's a heavy workload, but I have no doubt that this is what, you know, I was called to do.
So how has it progressed since you've been diagnosed?
It's continued to progress much faster than I ever imagined. I want people to understand just how quickly ALS can attack your body. Just over a year ago, I was picking up my 7-year-old daughter so she make a wish with her birthday cake. Today, I couldn't do that.
And what do you hope people or you?
That type of shit just hurts. That hurts me. I ain't even got kids yet, and that just sort of hurts me to hear.
Wish people understood about living with ALS?
That your mind stays sharp. People sometimes look at the physical disability and assume you're not still the same person inside. I still think the same. I still dream. I still love my family. My body just doesn't cooperate.
What are the doctors telling you about the treatment and the progression?
Having doctors who are willing to collaborate and explore every reasonable option has meant a lot to my family and me. Right now, there isn't a cure, but we're seeing more research, more clinical trials, and more promising ideas than ever before. Seeing how hard these doctors and researchers are working gives me hope. As long as they're fighting for people with ALS, I'm going to keep fighting too.
Oh, yeah, and I want to thank Chris and Brittany for inviting me to the Home with them.
All right. Yeah, as y'all can see, things are not looking too good for Chris Johnson. That is one of those stories that broke my heart. But the reason why I wanted to highlight that and why I want to speak on it is, like I said, I just want people to understand this is a man that, especially for me, growing up, I looked at as damn near, like, I never looked at football players and these athletes as superheroes, but damn it, they were right below them. They were just a step below. The things that they were able to do, the way he was able to, man, this dude put up 2,596 yards from scrimmage in a season. Like, this man and his abilities were otherworldly to me. And then you see him just grounded and humbled and just sort of put into a wheelchair, not able to raise his own fucking daughter for her birthday anymore. And you just are reminded of just how fleeting life actually is and how quickly shit can be taken away from you. We have to remain grateful for what we have. We have to remain humble and always just keep it in mind, shit can be taken away from you like that. Chris Johnson is somebody who he had such a long career. From what I've been able to do, I've been able to do research on ALS. I've been able to try to see, I know in the statement that he released, he talked about how ALS could potentially be linked to head trauma when it comes to football. He's implored the NFL to do the research when it comes to that. That's something that I would hope that they would just, you know, be on the up and up about, but, you know, especially considering how they handled the concussions and how long it took to just get them to acknowledge that. I don't have the biggest amount of faith, but they have been, you know, not trying to ignore this story. I've seen a lot of NFL posts about them just showing love to him, highlighting the support and the reactions that it's garnered. So hopefully they're going to handle it smarter and not try to react the same way they did to concussions, because listen, football, more than any other sport on this planet, it just has such a high physical cost and it's just such a high physical toll that it takes on these players. We already know they deal with CTE. ALS is something that we've already seen in other athletes. It's not something that I'm not trying to give the impression I think it's solely connected to football. It definitely isn't. But I just hope that people do right by Chris Johnson. I hope that he has a long time left. I hope that he's able to defy all odds and trends and just live way past his expectancy. But the best way to honor his memory, if you're the NFL, if you are any football player, is to just really make sure that we are championing trying to figure out the causes of ALS, trying to figure out cures, and not only for just that, but just for all of these diseases and all of these different things that the NFL players are exposing themselves to. We just got to make sure that we try to keep these players as well taken care of, not just while they're playing, but afterwards, because this is a tragic story. This is a man who fought his whole life to make it to the NFL, made the most of his opportunity and had a career, and then only for just a short period of time after that career is over to have all of that post-football life, all of that time that athletes work towards, because athletes work so much during their career. Yeah, they do it to win the championships. Yes, they do it to earn the money, but they're trying to earn that money and earn that legacy so that when they're done playing, they can be able to do nothing but just enjoy their family, enjoy their kids, and just make the most out of the time that they have left in their life. And so Chris Johnson, to see him have all of that just taken away after he had completed every other step is heartbreaking. And I hope that if that leaves you with any other message, with any other thing that you can learn from this episode, from this story, appreciate the life that we have. Appreciate how fleeting it is, because just like that, like we just said, it can all be taken away. This has been Kinetic Aesthetic. This has been your boy Germ. I hope that you all have a beautiful rest of your Thursday. Tell your friends and family that you love them. Drink a lot of water and take care of yourselves. This has been Kinetic Aesthetic. It's been your boy Germ, and I'm out.